All right, everybody. Thank you for coming to our January board meeting. If you would please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, the school board recognizes the value of public comment on educational issues and the importance of allowing members of the public to express themselves on corporation matters. Community members requesting permission to address the board are required to complete a registration form prior to a motion to approve a specific agenda item. Individuals will be permitted to speak during the specific agenda item before a vote takes place. All statements shall be directed to the presiding officer. No person may address or question board members individually. Any questions on personnel should be directed to the superintendent by contacting his office. No participant may speak more than once. Will be limited to 3 minutes and may not pass their minutes to another participant. First thing on our agenda is to adopt the agenda. Could I have a motion, please? I have a motion from Mr. DeMeyer. Can I have a second?
I will second.
Seconded by Ms. Smith. Is there any discussion? All right, all those in favor of adopting the agenda, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion passes 5-0. Next up, consent items. Can I have a motion to approve consent items, please? Got a motion for Mr. Shale. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Mr. Goddage. Is there any discussion? All right. All those in favor of approving consent items, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. That motion passes 5-0. We'll move on to reports. We have a few different reports tonight. We'll start off with Dr. White.
Okay, good afternoon. So just a couple of things I wanted to share this evening. The main, before I get into the main topic, just a reminder on where we're at with the school calendar. When one snow day turns into another, they can all seem to run together. You pre-approved us in this year's school calendar to have up to 5 synchronous or virtual e-learning days. We have now used 4 of the 5. So we've got one more if there are any more weather cancellations. The situation the other day that we started on 2-hour delay and then ended up determining that we needed to go to virtual. A lot of blowing. It ended up being a lot of visibility issues. It probably ended up being the right thing to do. That was our 4th. So we've got one more. So just wanted to sort of remind everybody of that. Having said that, the main thing that I want to share and report on tonight, very excited to announce that with the consent agenda and the personnel report for the approval of that this evening, we're excited to announce that Mr. Justin Holmquist has been our principal at the middle school since 2018 and has really done excellent work there. The leadership has been fantastic. The middle school has had record successes in his time there, and he is going to be our next school district director of finance and also will be the fun title, at least for me, of assistant to the superintendent. Which means I could probably throw about anything at him, but we'll get the finance part down first. So wanted to congratulate you on that. Welcome to the fun of the central office. So we have a statement going out to the community here in about 45 minutes, and it'll be on Facebook. Just a couple of thoughts. I'm going to invite him to say a few things. These are just some highlights from the statement. I mentioned that he's been at the middle school since 2018. Some of those successes that the middle school has been a part of in that time, the middle school is named a model professional learning community school just a couple of years ago. That's a very difficult distinction to earn and requires multiple years in a row of significant academic performance and increases in academic performance, particularly with student populations that traditionally struggle the most. Middle school is a hard time. We all know that. It's a big time of transition and development. Historically, schools struggle in their data in terms of you see all these improvements and increases at elementary, and then there's this weird drop in middle school, and then it gets better as they get into high school. And it's kind of an international trend. And if you look at our middle school's data, they have significantly reduced that typical data trend. The collaborative work of the teachers, the focus on teaching the right things and the appropriate follow-up with students, and his leadership has been central to all of that happening at the middle school. There are also various other honors, being a heart-safe school, a Gold Star counseling school. Mr. Holmquist was named District 2 Indiana Principal of the Year a couple of years ago, has an educational specialist degree from Indiana State and holds an Indiana superintendent's license. Now, and you may be thinking, that's awesome, but what do those things have to do with finance? As we got into the process, we also learned that Mr. Holmquist's background in school finance is actually in a pretty good place, and there's a good place to really take it forward and become very nuanced. He has, you're probably aware, served on the school board at LaPorte for the last few years. He will be stepping down from that role due to getting this position so he can focus on this and ensure there isn't any concerns from either community. Because of that work with the LaPorte School Board, we found that his knowledge and understanding of school finance is pretty developed. Mr. Tim Scott, who's served in the role for the past 4 years and has done it very well, he's retiring. And fortunately, Mr. Scott is also going to be willing to stay on in a part-time capacity and do some training and do some mentoring as Mr. Holmquist is getting into the weeds of learning the different aspects of school finance. But in terms of the nuts and bolts of how it works, he's in a very strong position to join the central office team and lead us in that way, and to continue to make sure and oversee the stewardship of the district's finances, which continue to be in a very strong position. And part of that is Mr. Scott, Jim Hallfield before him, the focus, and making sure the board has its accurate information, and myself on a monthly basis, and keeping very close track of the finances. So we're looking forward to that. And then as that role grows, assisting the district in some other ways, because he has a lot of talents and skills, and some talents and skills that I don't have. So it'll be perfect to kind of come along and round out the central office team. So I said all that for a minute. If you don't mind, why don't you take a few minutes and would you like to share?
Okay. No, I just want to thank the board and Dr. White for this opportunity. Very grateful. I did tell Dr. White that coming to New Prairie was probably the single best professional decision I've ever made. So I'm very much appreciative of this opportunity. My wife Cassie is here with me tonight, and for those of you who have been married to or have spouses who are in any sort of educational leadership role, it's not always the easiest spot to be in, and she supported me every step of the way. So I appreciate her support as I pursue my professional goals. And then the last thing I want to say is thank you to my staff at New Prairie Middle School. A lot of those accomplishments that Dr. White listed off wouldn't have happened without their commitment and dedication to the students in our community. So I am grateful to them very much, because they make me look much better because of their hard work. So just want to thank my staff, thank all of my students, past, current. I will be finishing out my year at the middle school as I transition into this role. So you're not getting rid of me just yet. I still have to drop 50 points in the staff student basketball game. So, but anyway, just want to thank everybody again for their support. Looking forward to getting started. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Very good. Thank you. And of course, Mr. Holmquist will finish the school year as the middle school principal. And the official transition will begin in July. But we'll do what we can to have him work with Mr. Scott in the meantime this semester. And then the position, the principal position, the middle school that will be available beginning in July, we will post that position tomorrow and begin a process of identifying that next principal. And we should have that process worked through by, I would think, early to mid-March at the latest. So we look forward to going through that process. It's a great place to be. It's a great school and so I'm confident that we'll have really strong leaders and candidates interested in the position. So wanted to share that. That would be my report for tonight.
All right. Thank you, Dr. White. All right. Next on the agenda is our legislative report. This is a lot of fun information. So this year is a short session and a non-budget year for the Indiana legislators. But as usual, there are a number of educational bills moving through the State House. All bills must pass out of committee by today for it to live on another day starting next week when they reconvene. I do want to just briefly highlight several of the bills that we are monitoring. House Bill 1034 and Senate Bill 78 will address student use of cell phones and personal devices. This bill would ban cell phones, personal laptops, smartwatches, and any similar devices during the full school day, requiring that all instructional technology be used on school-issued items only. Senate Bill 78 would allow schools either to ban devices entirely or to provide blocking storage cases at the district's expense for the entire school day. House Bill 1086 has been advanced out of the House Education Committee on Tuesday, which would allow but not mandate school districts to display the 10 Commandments in classrooms and elsewhere, but teachers would be prohibited from reading it aloud in front of students. School libraries would be required to keep a copy of the 10 Commandments, and students would be allowed to cite the text in their work without consequence. Again, this bill passed along party lines. House Bill 2059 would allow school districts to begin displaying commercial advertising on school buses with certain restrictions. House Bill 1158 and Senate Bill 88 would require public schools to teach the positive outcomes of earning a high school diploma, obtaining employment, and waiting until marriage to have children. And Senate Bill 88 passed the Senate on January 21st. House Bill 1160 would require schools to administer the U.S. naturalization exam to 8th grade and high school students, and would make passing the exam with a 70% score a graduation requirement. House Bill 1176 would require parental notification when a school determines a student is at risk or not achieving grade level understanding in mathematics. This bill passed out of committee on January 22nd. House Bill 1232 would require public schools to teach the Bible as literature in every grade from kindergarten through 12th grade. Instructions would include age-appropriate lessons on the history of Israel, moral and ethical teachings of the Old and New Testaments, and the life of Jesus, while prohibiting instruction of the Bible as religious dogma or divinely inspired text. House Bill 1313 would prohibit public schools, excluding charter schools, from hiring lobbyists. It would also prohibit payroll deduction of union dues and prevent school districts from converting to virtual instruction days for planned or coordinated staff absences related to protests. Senate Bill 124 would lower the mandatory school attendance age from 7 to 5 years old. And finally, Senate Bill 248 would have changed the South Bend Community School Corporation Board of Trustees to an advisory-only board under a new governing body. However, Senator Rogers, who was one of the authors of this bill, has withdrawn the bill at this time, but there is word that it may pop up once again on the second half of the session. So these are just a handful of the education bills we are tracking at this time. We'll keep an eye on those. I'll be going down to Indy in the next couple weeks for a legislative state house day to meet with legislators myself and talk with them regarding these bills and others. So that is it for my legislative report this month. We are going to move on to our final report, and I'm going to ask the director of New Carlisle Olive Township Library, Ms. Roanna Hooten. The floor is all yours.
I'm Roanna Hooten, I'm the director of New Carlisle Public Library. I'm a New Prairie graduate. Also had all 4 of my kids go to New Prairie, so we are well versed in everything New Prairie. My point of coming tonight, and thank you for allowing me to speak, is just to kind of give you an update of where we are in the library. I'll talk a little bit about the legislative that's been at the libraries, Right now, this is Sarah Otis, our children's librarian. A lot of the initiatives I'm going to talk about, she has spearheaded it. So one of our key goals is community and the school system, and just trying to provide things that we can to help kids' education be better. So on the sheet in front of you, and I do have some in the back as well, you'll see our 2025 year in review. I'm not going to go over it in detail, but I just want you to know that everything is up like 20%, probably besides circulation. So things like door count, things that we count, programming attendance, the number of programs we're doing. We're seeing a steady increase since COVID in those things. So all those things take time, staffing, and money to fund all those things. So we are being used in our community. On the back of the sheet, you're going to see how we are funded and how we spend that money. Our funding comes primarily from Olive Township property taxes. We also get lit dollars, and there are a few other sources that are very minor. So the majority of that does come from Olive Township property taxes. So that's just a snapshot of kind of like how we spend things, and then I did include an output, so those are all the services that those dollars are going towards. But tonight I'm just going to highlight the way that we collaborate with New Prairie schools, mainly with Olive Elementary School. All elementary kids now come over for class visits. So once a month they come over with their teachers, and we have allowed them to check out 2 books from our children's department that we do not track. So we don't ask we see what books they're taking, the teachers see that, but we don't ever ask that they're returned. We do kind of do a push, but those books are for them to take home. And if they don't come back, so be it. They at least have a book in their house that they can read. So that is happening. And we also partner with elementary by inviting teachers to attend the South End Symphony performances twice a year. Mrs. Bush does a lot of selection of which grades will be coming, and for the past 2 years we've received grants to host local authors, and we've also invited Olive students to attend those. So anything that we see that we can invite Olive students, we are definitely taking the opportunity to do that. Last year we launched Battle Books in collaboration with Olive's 5th grade teachers. They select books for their students to read, and then we host a quizzing show, a quizzing game, and provide all the prizes. They use our Beanstack app. If you participate in any of our summer or winter readings, we use the Beanstack app to track all that, and we allow all of students to do that. So all 5th graders are getting an opportunity and a push with prizes and incentives to read. So we've also asked our staff to do some of the reading along with them. So when they come in, we can have discussions with them about what books they're reading. Again, we also do collaborations with the middle school and high school here with a rotating collection of books that we bring in. Again, we don't track them, and we just allow those students to take them home. We also host a summer coding camp that is taught by New Prairie Robotics team. We participate in the district's career fair, and we ask anyone to join our summer and winter programs. And most recently, we've begun hiring New Prairie students to work our evening and weekend hours. So we're trying to provide some training for those students in our environment. A new community initiative, and I do have some of those on the back table, is our community snapshot. So not only do we publish the one that says Ticket to Read, that's our in-house one. We are also now publishing a community snapshot. The biggest thing we heard in the community was that there's no newspaper now. So we took the initiative to start making that a publication. We try to put as much New Prairie stuff in there as we can, with local stuff. So that comes out every 2 months. There are boxes at the post office, at Joe's, at CVS, and right in New Carlisle. So you'll make sure you pick those up. If you do have anything you want to submit, you just send us an email, or there's an online form on our website. We also had an Amazon community grant last year where we installed a story walk at Barissa Hills that goes through the woods. It's a beautiful space to take a walk, and now you can read a book at the same time. So we hope that you will participate in that. As you know, there's always legislation that can go in your favor or not in your favor. Right now, there's one, Senate Bill 8, that proposes limiting library funding. All our funding would have to be done by the county then, with the ability to slash our budget at will. So we're hoping that is in the House right now. So we are watching that bill very closely to see what's going to happen with that. We also have lost our lit funding, so we will be asking the county to supplement our lit again. And then SEA 1 or Senate Bill 1 from last year also limits anybody with property taxes in the next 5 years. So if you see a shout out on Facebook asking for help with our funding, please take the opportunity to reach out to your senators and your House of Representatives to tell them how much you appreciate the library. So appreciate letting me have the time to speak. I also appreciate this board also appoints 3 of our library board members. So I appreciate the time and the effort that it takes to do that as well. So we have a very good board too. And so I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yep, thank you. All right. We will move on to action items. Action item A is to accept and adopt the second reading of Neola updated board policies for the special update July 2025, volume 38, number 1, non-discrimination, September 2025, volume 38, number 1, September 2025, non-discrimination, September 2025, volume 38, number 1, September 2025. That's a lot of September 2025s. All right. It is the recommendation of the administration that the board accept and adopt the second reading of Neola updated board policies, special updates, July 2025, volume 38, number 1, non-discrimination, September 2025, volume 38, number 1, as listed. Bylaw 0142, election and eligibility to serve, revised. Bylaw 0144, compensation, revised. Bylaw 167.2, executive session, revised. Policy 1422, non-discrimination, equal employment opportunity, and anti-harassment, replacement policy. Policy 142202, non-discrimination based on genetic information of the employee, rescinded. Policy 1662, anti-harassment, rescinded. Policy 2221, mandatory curriculum, revised. Policy 2260, non-discrimination and access to equal educational opportunity, revised. Policy 2260-01, Section 504 ADA, prohibition against discrimination based on disability, revised. Policy 2266, discrimination on the basis of sex and education programs and or activities, revised. Policy 2410, audio, video, and digital recording of meetings, adopt. Policy 2414, reproductive health and family planning and human sexuality instruction, revised. Policy 2416, student privacy and parental access to information, revised. Policy 2461, recording of IEP, team meetings, case conferences, revised. Policy 2623, student assessment, revised. Policy 3122, non-discrimination and equal employment opportunity, revised. Policy 312202, non-discrimination based on genetic information of the employee, rescinded. Policy 3231, outside activities of staff, revised. Policy 3362, anti-harassment, rescinded. Policy 4122, non-discrimination and equal employment opportunity, replacement. Policy 412202, non-discrimination based on genetic information of the employee, rescinded. Policy 4162, drug and alcohol testing of CDL license holders and other employees who perform safety-sensitive functions, revised. Policy 4362, anti-harassment, rescinded. Policy 5111, determination of legal settlement and eligibility for enrollment of students without legal settlement in the corporation, proof of Indiana residency, revised. Policy 5200, attendance, revised. Policy 5223, release time for religious instruction, revised. Policy 5350, student suicide awareness and prevention, replacement policy. Policy 5517, anti-harassment, revised. Policy 5517-01, bullying, revised. Policy 5600, student discipline, revised. Policy 5610, suspension and expulsion of students, revised. Policy 5611, due process rights, revised. Policy 5771, search and seizure, revised. Policy 6320, purchasing, revised. Policy 6550, travel payment and reimbursement, corporation, revised. Policy 7440-01, electronic monitoring and recording, revised. Policy 7455, accounting system for fixed assets, revised. Policy 7540-02, digital content and accessibility, revised. Policy 8121, personnel background check, contracted services, technical correction. Policy 8405, environmental health and safety issues, indoor air quality, animals in the classroom, and idling vehicles on school property, technical correction. Policy 8452, automatic external defibrillators, AED, revised. Policy 8462, child abuse and neglect, revised. Policy 8500, food service program, a technical correction. Policy 8600, transportation, corporation, revised. And finally, Policy 8600-01, student safety and transportation, revised. With that, can I have a motion to approve the acceptance and adoption of those policies I just listed?
So moved.
I have a motion from Ms. Smith. Can I have a second? Seconded by Mr. Demeyer. Any questions or discussion on any of those policies? All right, all those in favor of accepting and adopting the second reading of Neola updated board policies as listed, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion will pass 5-0. Action item B is to accept conflict of interest disclosure statements. It is the recommendation of the administration that the board accept the conflict of interest disclosure statements for Brian Williamson, ground maintenance worker, Ashley Williamson, New Prairie High School custodian, Mindy Colonese, New Carlisle Olive Township Library board member, Rich Goddich, New Prairie United School Corporation board member, Christine Mash, Rolling Prairie Elementary Instructional Assistant, Jen Sass, New Prairie United School Corporation Curriculum Director, Aaron Jenkins, New Prairie Middle School Social Worker, David Buell, New Prairie United School Corporation Grounds Maintenance Worker, Michael Buell, New Prairie Middle School Custodian, Crew Leader, Jason Demeyer, Board Member, David Burden, Rolling Prairie Elementary School Principal, Edward Aikman, Building and Grounds Director, Ellen Borkowski, Deputy Treasurer, Jill Smith, Board Secretary, Justin Holmquist, New Prairie Middle School Principal, Paul White, Superintendent, Tara White, Administrator of College and Career Readiness, and myself, Phil King, Board President. So could I please have a motion to accept the conflict of interest disclosure statements for those just listed?
So moved.
Got a motion for Mr. Goddage. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Mr. Shale. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor of accepting the conflict of interest disclosure statements as listed, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion will pass 5-0. Action item C is to approve old checks to be voided. It is the recommendation of the administration that the board approve old checks to be voided in the amount of $199.35. Could I please have a motion to approve old checks to be voided in the amount of $199.35, please? Got a motion for Mr. Demeyer. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Ms. Smith. Is there any discussion? All those in favor of approving old checks to be voided in the amount of $199.35, please signify by saying aye. Those opposed, nay. That motion will pass 5-0. Action item D is to approve the 2026 summer remediation and summer camps. It is the recommendation of the administration that the board approve the 2026 summer remediation and summer camp schedule. Could I please have a motion to approve the 2026 summer remediation and summer camp schedule, please? Got a motion for Mr. Shale. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Mr. Goddage. Is there any discussion? All right, all those in favor of approving the 2026 summer remediation and summer camps, please signify by saying aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion will pass 5-0. Action item E is to approve a couple overnight field trip requests. It is the recommendation of the administration that the board approve the following overnight field trip requests. New Prairie High School indoor percussion to Carroll Percussion Competition Invitational at Carroll High School in Fort Wayne, Indiana, February 14th through February 15th, 2026. And the New Prairie High School dance team to attend the state dance competition held in Indianapolis at the Indiana Farmers Coliseum, March 13th through March 14th, 2026. Can I please have a motion to approve the overnight field trip request as listed?
So moved.
I have a motion for Ms. Smith. Can I have a second? Seconded by Mr. Demeyer. Is there any discussion? All those in favor of approving the overnight field trip request, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. Motion will pass 5-0. Action item F is to approve some repairs and upgrades to the New Prairie High School baseball field. It is the recommendation of the administration that the board approve repairs and upgrades to the New Prairie High School baseball field. The cost of renovations will be $191,285.27 to be performed by Hydroseed Inc. and RZ Sports Turf. So could I please have a motion to approve the repairs and upgrades to the New Prairie High School baseball field at the cost of $191,285.27, please? Got a motion for Mr. Goddage. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Mr. Shale. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor of approving the repairs and upgrades to the New Prairie High School baseball field at a cost of $191,285.27, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion will pass 5-0. Action item G is to approve the repairs and upgrades to the New Prairie High School softball field. It is the recommendation of the administration that the board approve repairs and upgrades to the New Prairie High School softball field at a cost of $3,989.80 to be performed by Hydroseed Inc. and RZ Sports Turf. Can I please have a motion to approve the repairs and upgrades to the New Prairie High School softball field in the amount of $3,989.80, please? Got a motion from Mr. Demeyer. Can I have a second?
I will second.
Seconded by Ms. Smith. Is there any discussion? All right, all those in favor of approving the repairs and upgrades to the New Prairie High School softball field at a cost of $3,989.80, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. And that will pass 5-0. Once this is approved, I'll have you do some highlights to this. Okay. Next on the agenda, action item H is to approve the New Prairie United School Corporation school calendar for the 2026-2027 school year. It is the recommendation of the administration that the board approve the New Prairie United School Corporation school calendar for the 2026-2027 school year. Could I please have a motion to approve the New Prairie United School Corporation school calendar for the 26-27 school year, please? Motion for Mr. Shell. Can I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Goddard. Is there any discussion? All those in favor of approving the New Prairie United School Corporation school calendar for the 2026-2027 school year, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion will pass 5-0. And at this time, I'm going to hand it over to Dr. White just to kind of give a few highlights of what next school year will look like.
Sure, and we'll send a communication to the school community tomorrow with a copy of this calendar. It's very similar to recent years in this school year in terms of its themes. There's 90 instructional days each semester, with the first semester ending on Friday, December 18th. So, there is the Friday, Monday fall break that we've done the last few years, October 16th through 19th. 3 days with Thanksgiving, with students in session the Monday or Tuesday of that week. 2 full weeks with Christmas or winter break, December 21st through January the 3rd. Spring break, the first full week of April. Last student day would be Friday, May 21st, and would give us the week before Memorial Day. If there is a lot of inclement weather like this year, and we have to end up making up some days at the end. Like recent years, our first 2 weather cancellations would be made up in person, built-in snow makeup days, and then the next 5 after that would be virtual live instruction. And you've approved for us to have up to 5 of those days. Point for everybody in the room, that's a local, the Department of Education doesn't limit those live virtual days, but our school district does, and the philosophy has been that we want kids in person with their teachers as much as possible. So we do a few less of those live virtual days than maybe some other districts might, but that's something we've done for probably about 5 years at this point, to just try to limit how much online learning is happening versus in person with your teacher. So those are the highlights. Starting late in that first week of August. I know that's earlier than what a lot of people would like. At the same time, it gives us critical instructional days prior to any accountability testing that elementary, middle, or high school students have to deal with, including high school students being required to take the SAT now. We get feedback from families sometimes. They wish we started deeper in August, but then simultaneously, we have a lot of academic data that's mounted year after year that we essentially have 7 to 10 days of instructional learning that most of our neighboring schools don't have before kids are in any kind of testing accountability situation in the early spring, late winter, or late spring. And we continue to produce results, and we think that's a small piece of the puzzle. So, and it provides a lot of balance to the number of learning days each semester, which some of you remember the days where we tried to drag first semester into January, and how tough that is on high kids and families, and worried about finals. Kids stressed about finals over Christmas break, for winter break. Nobody wants that, So that's the background. It's very similar. We'll get this out to everybody tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, let's go on to action item I, and that is to accept some donations. It's the recommendation of the administration that the board accept the following donations. Rolling Prairie Elementary School received a donation of a hacienda lunch for staff, Peepers glasses, as well as gift cards to be provided for bingo night from Peepers. The New Prairie Middle School staff received a donation of 15 dozen assorted donuts valued at $179. And the New Prairie High School Model United Nations received a donation of $500 from the Lebanon Law Office. So with that, can I have a motion to accept the donations as listed?
There's another one.
There it is. That's all I have on mine. Let's see.
Nutrition Service Angel Fund.
Oh, okay. Got it. The miss got it. All right. So New Prairie United School Corporation Nutritional Services Angel Fund received a donation of $600 from Kappa Whole Chapter of Delta Theta Chi Sorority of New Carlisle. With that, can I have a motion to accept donations as presented now?
So moved.
A motion from Ms. Smith. Can I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Demeyer. Is there any discussion?
Say thank you.
All right. All those in favor of accepting the donations as listed, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Action item J is to approve the agreement for educational and training program between the Redevelopment District of St. Joe County and New Prairie United School Corporation. It is the recommendation of the administration that the board approve the agreement between the Redevelopment District of St. Joe County and New Prairie United School Corporation. New Prairie United School Corporation will receive $30,000 of revenue from TIF funds in 2026, with up to 15% of revenue collected each year after until the year 2049. So could I please have a motion to approve the agreement for educational and training program between the Redevelopment District of St. Joe County and New Prairie United School Corporation, please?
So moved.
Motion for Mr. Goddard. Can I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Shale. Is there any discussion? Okay, all those in favor of approving the agreement for educational and training program between the Redevelopment District of St. Joe County and New Prairie United School Corporation, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The motion will pass 5-0. And our final action item of the evening is to approve some updated job descriptions. It's the recommendation of the administration that the board approve the updated job descriptions for the following. New Prairie United School Corporation District English Language Coordinator / TOR job description. The Cougar Connect Virtual and Hybrid Student Support Specialist, and the Elementary Instructional Assistant. So could I please have a motion to approve the updated job descriptions as listed below? Got a motion from Mr. Demeyer. Can I have a second?
I will second.
Seconded by Ms. Smith. Is there any discussion? All right, all those in favor of approving the updated job descriptions for the New Prairie United School Corporation District English Language Learner Coordinator, Cougar Connect Virtual and Hybrid Student Support Specialist, and Elementary Instructional Assistant, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The motion will pass 5-0. We have no discussion items tonight on the agenda, so we'll move on to board comments. And I'm going to start over with Mr. Shale. All right. Mr. Goddard.
Congratulations. glad we were able to retain you in the system.
Mr. DeMeyer.
Congratulations, been an asset to the corporation and up to your new role.
Ms. Smith.
Congratulations.
All right, well, we got a lot of congratulations going on. So yes, congratulations. I'm looking forward to working with you a little bit more one-on-one in the coming months. A lot of great things going on here at New Prairie Schools, as always. Our next board meeting will be held on Monday, February 23rd. We'll be right here at the central office, starting at 6 p.m., our regular time. Is there any further business from the board? Since there is no further business, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody, for coming out.